UMAR AHMED IFL TV MTK Global, joined by Eddie Hearn.
Okay, mate. I know I'm getting on a bit, but
It's weird, isn't it? You're known, or when everyone sees Barry, they're like, oh, you're Eddie's dad.
yeah, didn't used to be like that.
No.
I had a large portion of my life being the other way around. So
Come on, Eddie.
what?
Is it right?
What?
Devin Haney, world champion, without fighting in the ring.
No.
So okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm totally against the franchise situation. I've said it before. I think the WBC, by the way, do so many good things, but this is something they've got wrong. You know, Devin Haney wanted to fight Vasily Lomachenko. He is today WBC world champion, but he won't get the credit. I don't worry too much for Devin because you'll see him in the fights where he'll get the genuine credit, but you kind of like don't get that moment when you're in the ring and it's that feeling, and you never get your shot at greatness. His shot at greatness will come because he's 20 years old, but like, why would you want to work your way up the ratings and try and become a mandatory if you never get your opportunity at that shot of greatness? So if you're a middleweight and your dream is to fight Canelo and you beat everybody and get yourself out of the race, you can never get to fight him unless you're picked, and you're never going to get to be picked if you're really good, right? The only way you're going to get picked is if it's a mega fight. So we made a decision, pre-franchise stuff, to go down a WBC route because Devin Haney wanted to fight Vasily Lomachenko. He wanted his shot of greatness. So we did everything right, we got to the mandatory position, and now you're blocked. You cannot get to Vasily Lomachenko. So listen, great for Devin Haney that he's world champion and his contract goes up significantly off the back of that fact. But I would have rather, I think him as well, would have rather had that moment to win that belt through a moment of greatness.
Was it just a phone call that you're world champion now?
That was all at the convention. I mean, it was, Vasily Lomachenko. Look, Bob Arum would have been pushing for Vasily Lomachenko to become franchise champion. They don't want Devin Haney to be mandatory. Whether it's because it's a tough fight or whether it's because I'm going to be aggressive on that bid and try and get it to DAZN. So they push for Vasily Lomachenko to be a franchise champion. By the way, he's a brilliant fighter. But we want to fight him. And now we've got to try and make it. Vasily Lomachenko is such a great pro, he's such a great champion, that if the Devin Haney fight starts becoming a fight where people are saying, no, we've got to make that fight, I believe he'll take that fight, Vasily. Right? Maybe not Bob, but I think Vasily will want that fight. But that's what we were. You've got to respect Devin Haney because that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to get the fight with Vasily Lomachenko. Now you can't get it. It's impossible unless you're picked. Let's be honest. Are they going to pick Devin Haney? No. So again, honour to be WBC world champion, but would have rather it in a different manner.
Did you think before this whole franchise thing, Loma was going to fight the winner, Tommy Lopez? And then you'd get the WBC shot at Loma.
But we pushed to forget that because that's going to take too long. So order the fight now. That's the reason that we went down the WBC route. We didn't go down the WBC route hoping that Lomachenko would be made franchise champion and then Devin would be made WBC world champion. We went down there to fight Vasily Lomachenko. So, and by the way, that doesn't stop now. The campaign has to continue. The marathon continues. To say, no, we want Vasily Lomachenko. And the public must make sure that Vasily Lomachenko takes that fight.
Well, after this, I think people want to see it more.
Good.
Just to get
but
clarification.
that is true, yeah. So keep that energy. But you're going to see him, now we know he fights November 9th, be a solid fight, but 2020, you're going to see Devin in all the fights where you will genuinely say, okay, he's earned his stripes as a world champ. And when he's put so much work in, it's not his fault, he deserves everything he gets out of the sport. But you'll see the greatness of Devin Haney over time. And we want that Vasily Lomachenko fight.
You've had a bit of a touch though now. On that KSI card, you can say Billy Joe defends
two world champions. Two world champions. Yeah.
So Lomachenko, right, I know it's kind of nothing to do with you. One fight under WBC ruling with
just won
Campbell,
and
he's now franchised after one fight.
Yeah. None of it makes sense. And again, not having a pop at the WBC because they do so many good stuff. I just can't sit here and tell you that that's right.
You're going to lose fans through this as well, surely.
Just too confusing.
I know.
It's too confusing because you've got, like, if you're striving for greatness, you can't be refused a shot at greatness. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, right, I'm gonna, and with this conversation with Devin's been going on for a year. I want Lomachenko. I'm like, mate, like, you don't have to fight Lomachenko yet. No.
What about Bill, his father?
Yeah, they wanted the same. They believe they can beat Vasily Lomachenko, and this is the way. They say, we know Bob Arum's not going to let us near Vasily Lomachenko, so let's become mandatory. Done that, and then they made sure that you can't touch him.
Do you reckon this will happen with Wilder or
Yes.
whoever wins that Wilder Fury?
Yes.
Okay, that leads me on to Dylan Whyte.
Yeah.
Benson put that tweet out. If he gets cleared and everything's okay, Ortiz fight will happen, then a trilogy with Wilder and Fury will happen. So when are we looking at, what, 2021 with Dylan Whyte?
I mean, the situation is, we had a ruling with the WBC that Dillian Whyte would be mandatory to the winner of Wilder Fury 2. And our team are out in Cancun, our lawyers and our fighting guys working on this, and I just saw it this morning. So I'm going back and saying, what the fuck's happened here? We've already had a rule that Dillian Whyte is mandatory to the winner of Wilder Fury. So why now has it been delayed by another year? It's all irrelevant anyway, because they're going to make the winner franchise champion, and you never get to have a shot at them anyway.
Dylan Whyte's situation, I mean, is ridiculous.
But, I don't know what to say. I don't see the point. One of the points, it's a bit like Callum Smith and David Benavidez.
Is Yildirim mandatory?
Yes, but now they're saying they'll make Callum Smith mandatory to Benavidez, because we've requested that fight. Callum Smith's had 13 WBC fights, right? All he's want to do is to become WBC world champion for a long time. So we requested a year ago at the convention that the WBC order Benavidez and Callum Smith to fight. Mm-hmm. They said, no, well, because he had a drug charge at the time. So now we appeal for it again, and they say, well, let him have the Yildirim fight, then he's allowed one more, then we'll order it. I mean, and by the way, then they'll put him into franchise champion. So it's a waste of time.
So who's mandatory, sorry for that? You said Yildirim. So what's happening with Callum Smith?
No, we've requested that Callum Smith be made mandatory to Benavidez. That fight be ordered. Diamond champion, WBC champion.
But what happened with the failed test? Have they just ignored that then?
Yeah. So,
I've been getting more stuff on this Saudi thing. I know we touched upon it with the visa issue, but people are saying that there is, like, you come out and basically say you're going to get this with the ticket. It's all going to be done through the ticketing policy. You don't have to apply for a tourist visa and pay separate money. People are having to do that. So you kind of see what.
Well, no, you do. You buy the ticket, you're able to apply for the visa. That is the situation. But there is, I believe, a statement coming out again. I don't want to pass the buck, but
people thought you were passing the buck.
No, well, I am passing the buck because I've got nothing to do with it. So I know it's my fight, but they're running all the tickets, they're running the visa situation. I can't, I told you what we were told at the press conference, and obviously they have a government department. It's a bit over my head, to be honest with you.
Really?
But I believe, because I've gone back to them and said, look, I don't think this is clear enough. Now, they've sold like 8,000 or 9,000 tickets already. There's already 5,000 Brits going. Not all from the UK, by the way, but from Dubai and stuff like that. But there needs to be a clearer system. So I've requested that, and I hope that a statement on that is imminent.
Right. Have they stitched you up a little bit?
Probably, yeah. No, I just think that, it's quite a complicated situation. Again, not passing the buck, but this is like, you're talking about deep stuff. You're not talking about Eddie Hearn going, all right, lads, yeah, here's a visa, come on in. All right, they're all right, they're with me.
Into the kingdom.
Exactly. So it's a bit confusing, but I've, just so the fans know, I have gone back and asked for clarification, and I've actually pushed for the original plan system to be reverted to. But again, it's not as easy as, all right, mate, this visas, can you just make it all right for everyone to just walk in with their ticket, as you said. So, one thing's for sure, if you have a ticket, you will get a visa.
I think that's the biggest worry.
No, you will, and that's the original promise. But I can understand why the promise was construed as, no, you buy the ticket and that's your visa. You walk through the country with your ticket and you go, I'm all right, mate, I've got the ticket. So yeah.
I can already see the comments.
Yeah.
Eddie, I'm not passing the buck home.
I'm not passing the buck, but I'm 100% passing the buck.
He didn't really talk to you about the card.
Who?
Coogan yesterday.
No, he doesn't want it because he's more sort of lifestyle stuff, isn't he? Because he just wants to get me doing a few funny clips and stuff.
Hold it straight.
I like to get a double chin in.
No, it's, oh, you know, you heard of this? I want to get the double chin in. You know, I told you he's getting too big for his
What
boots.
do you want to do? We'll give you your advice on how I can rein him in.
What on him?
Yeah, go
He's
on.
out at all the events.
Yeah.
He's out on the razzle all night, right? Missing appointments. You know.
We'll take him off the show this weekend. Your call.
I'm just saying, it's not your call, mate. It's OT.
Your call.
I know.
Your
I
call.
know.
You decide.
No, I
Just to rein
think-
him out. This is great banter. Look, he's still giving
Oh,
it now.
I know. Right, okay. Got some.
made the call, pick it
Cheers.
back up.
Okay. Right, Matt, sorry. Mate.
Make sure it's
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
make
yeah,
sure it's
yeah.
out the building before Chisora gets there.
Yeah,
Take it
yeah.
over my head.
Hey, pick this back up
Go
there.
on.
Cool, that was tense. Just
Yeah, I
faced
know.
off.
No, you know what? I love Josh Taylor because he's a proper, like, high-tempered jock, isn't he? I love it. He's got that streak in him, and you'll see that at the presser at the weigh-in tomorrow. I was a bit worried about that presser. I can't lie, I was like hoping for a little bit of argy-bargy, but it's intense. Great face-off, great presser, big fight.
This is what
big
boxing's
fight.
about,
Yeah, it is because you know, like, look, this World Boxing Super Series is difficult to do, right? And I take my hat off to the guys and to Calla. Some people, some promoters try and block it. Don't let their fighters in. They don't want it to succeed. We embrace it. What you get is, and I just said in the presser, I'm not ashamed to say it. When Josh Taylor beat Berencic, I would probably have given him a couple of fights in Glasgow. You know, Chris Algieri. I don't know. Like with the series, you don't have a choice. You go straight into unification. So both guys have won a world title, and both guys are unifying immediately. That's great for the sport. You know, our other conversation earlier about franchise belts. This is quite simple. You know, this is about trying to find out who is number one in the division, and they've done it through a tournament where both guys have won legitimate world champ titles, and you know, don't forget he beat a champion. Regis beat a champion, and now they fight. Two champions fight each other. So progress against Taylor on Saturday night is going to be absolute fire. Is that what they say?
Yeah, fire. That's
Lit.
fire.
It's like lit. Is it fire like lit? Basically, same kind of thing.
All the caviar of boxing.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Calla said.
I know. I like that. Yeah. It's going to be brilliant. Brilliant fight.
Do you wear shades indoors?
No, it was funny, wasn't it? It could, but only I can just about understand Josh. So he was like, he's fucking pissing down with Ian. Fucking take your glasses off. He's like, what? And he goes, padded record. He went, what the fuck are you saying?
I think that adds to it. They're so different.
It is.
LA,
They're
flashy.
both great characters. You know, you've got the American coming in from LA, you know, etc., etc. And then, you know, and then you've got.
Listen, what? Sorry, Eddie. I didn't mean. I was just trying to keep out of the way.
Nearly.
For once, I was trying not to
he's
photo bomb.
big time now. So
Oh God.
no, Gareth, he's.
I know. You thought I was going to.
Yeah, no, he's big time now. So you have to be a bit careful.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll do that later. We'll do that under the stairs, off camera.
You're saying about the flashy, obviously.
Yeah, you got like it's great because that's what you know. It's like the clashing personalities of boxing, isn't it? You've got the guy from Edinburgh, proper old school, you know, fiery Scot, and then you've got the American, you know, I live in LA now with the shades on, but he's tough as fuck. Regis Progress. It's going to be an absolute war this fight. I can't wait, and I get to sit there, like I said, as a fan, and just watch a brilliant fight unfold. We've had 2 Fight of the Year contenders in October already. This is going to be number 3, I promise you that.
You told me yesterday, looking at David Price, it's like a new man.
No, it's not, you know, like you just, I think it's only perception. So all I said was that 3 or 4 fights ago, when Price turned up to fight Povetkin and Kuzmin, I'd look at him and I'd think, oh, fucking hell. And he's got that air of confidence, which I've never seen it from him before, because I've not known him long enough that he's had it, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, what has David Price got to lose in this fight? Absolutely nothing. A win for David Price would be probably the greatest turnaround of a boxing career I've ever seen.
Really?
Well, he was done, wasn't he? I mean, look, he just lost to Kuzmin. It was like, just retire, mate, just give it up. All of a sudden, he beats Tom Little, Cash Ali, Dave Allen. If he beats Derek Chisora, he's right there. And the pressure's really more on Del Boy because, like, he's already there. You know, he can't afford to slip up. So,
Oh yeah. You just remind me, what was that Instagram post from Del Boy today that he had to do?
I don't know, I haven't seen it. What does it say?
You need to check your phone, honestly. With a knife
Oh, was it? Oh, nice.
Sorry to break it to you like that.
Let's have a look. Oh, was it on his story?
No, a post. Is he taking it down? Maybe David's told him to remove it. I don't know.
6 new posts.
Oh,
this one.
Cartoon one.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
It's like pretending that I'm all cuddly, but then don't worry, we're bound to see something from Chisora at this press conference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why has this been moved to 1 o'clock? Is it just him?
Because I agreed with Derek at the last fight that on fight week we'd give their fight sort of like equal billing, if you like, you know.
How did that conversation go?
It was alright. I mean, Josh Taylor and Regis Progress didn't care, but also don't forget you've kind of got like the 2 cards here. You know, you've got the Matchroom card and you've got the World Boxing Super Series card, so it's nothing unusual.
Does it feel that the main event of the pay-per-view don't actually have a direct involvement with the fighters program? Does it feel weird?
Not really, because my job as a promoter is to put on the best shows possible, and effectively we've put on an unbelievable show and added Progress against Taylor. So like it's worked really well. Got a good relationship with Calla. The fans win. The fans win at the end of the day, you know. So yeah.
Selby Burns, all domestic.
Great fight, yeah, really good. I mean, look, so many good. Even Akoli and Garbu. You know, we know that Akoli had a bit of a stinker against Matty Askin, but this is a proper fight. You know, Ngabu's a very good European champion. Akoli's number 2 now in the world with a WBA. He's moving at a rapid rate. So we'll see.
Who's Conor Benn boxing?
He's fighting Stephen Jamoy.
What, brother of
Stefan Jamoy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's coming off a big win. He's a good fighter. We had him on our Italy Matchroom Boxing Italy show. Put up a really good fight there. Coming off a big win in his last fight against a kid I think was 18-0. He can fight. I would say it's the toughest fight of Conor's career so far. He's intelligent. You know, him and his brother obviously been boxing for years and years. He'll come to win. It's a good solid start. And by the way, it's on at 7 o'clock.
Kelly, have you seen any update?
No, all confirmed. Just going to get a date. Probably the date won't be till the beginning of next year because we're out of dates. We may go December 21 with it. May request that we let Avanesian defend quickly on our Spanish show in Barcelona on December 12th. But you'll see that fight early next year.
Arriba! Last one, Eubank Korobov been announced.
Yeah. I got a bit of stick last night. All I said was, like, it's just frustrating because I said that's a really bad fight for Eubank. Yeah, but, and by the way, tough fight. So congratulations for taking a tough fight. Like people saying, oh, can't believe you're having a go at him for taking a tough fight.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
No, but I'm just saying, like, all I want to do is try and make Billy Joe, Callum Smith, give Eubank the world title fights. But he's fighting a guy no one's ever heard of, who's good. Do you know what I mean? Terrible style for him, and I think he'll lose.
On the undercard, right?
Yeah, on an undercard the same night as Joshua Ruiz. So, like, it's just madness. But he was supposed to fight 3 times this year. He's only boxed once. So he's under pressure to fight. He's boxed in February and December. So it's a terrible fight for him. But listen, it's a. I'm not saying, oh, don't take tough fights in your career. I'm just saying, like, be smart. Like, come and fight for a world title.
Why do you think Al's done that?
It's not Al. It's just that they had to give him a fight, and this is the only fight out there that makes sense for the PBC.
Cheers, Eddie. Thank you, mate.